Good morning, class. Today I will give you I will continue for you the chapter first, the election system in Malaysia. So the election system in Malaysia, we had the first. We must know that the election system in Malaysia is regularly. It's very regularly, and we are held every 5 years. So when we doing the when saying about the election system, that means that the election system have the two. One's for federal, one's for the state. So there's one of the community will be runs the election system. We know it as election commissions. And then you must know that there's a types of the election system, general elections. A general election that means that it's every 5 years. That means that it's a whole the stakes. Well, that means that we have the whole of the country would run the elections. We call it general elections. And then there was a by-elections. By-election is due to the date of the adun or date of the MP, or sometimes disqualify like the Cameron. So it's a by-elections and general elections. And then one thing is a state election in Sarawak. So we have three types of the elections. And then election can be done after the dissolved by the YDPA. That means that elections can be done according to the constitutions. The Supremacy Constitution is a YDPA, dissolve the parliaments, or in the states is a sultan or governors, dissolve the states legislative assembly. And then you must know that when the parliament is dissolved in the 60 days in Peninsula and 90 days for Sabah Sarawak must have the one of the elections. Okay, so we are now already past the general elections, 9 May of the 2018. And then one thing you must know that the state election of the Sarawak already be held in 2016. That means that next year the state Sarawak elections will be held. And then you must know that, okay, for the next generation is a 15 generations. So it's a depend, is it YDP want to dissolve the parliament or not. If a parliament is dissolved early, so we must held the elections early. Okay, so election commission, you must know that, okay, election commission is what's the task of the election commissions? The first thing is carrying out election to the Dewan Rakyat or legislative, our MP, member of parliaments, the legislative. And then also the state legislative assembly, and then prepare, review the electoral roll for the elections. And then they must know they must know how to run, okay, from the first day of the dissolved parliaments until the campaign of the period. And then when the voting, after the voting, the announcement of the results. Okay, so this is the task of the election commissions. And then they must also come up with proposal related to delimitation exercise. That means that the areas, okay. So we are not that our 1957, before our 1957, after our independence, okay, there's only around 100 something our seat. Today we have 226. Okay, and if you see on this like the certain state of the seat is a very it's not genap. Okay, it's not, the seat is a genap, it's not the ganja. Okay, so we're going to another one is what is the delimitation of election constitutions? Is the area, how they choose the areas to become one area of the don't or one area of the parliament seat. Okay, so the act of a process fixing limits or boundaries of territorial constitutions in countries or provinces have a legislative body. Okay, this means we call it the delineations or delimitations. Delineations are what does priority mandate upon the election commissions. Okay, so from time to time the commission shall from the time to time, okay, shall review So the review of the six is each every 8 years. Every 8 years. So the last one we already done in 2018. So that means that we just left 6 years to run the delimitations. So because we are the last one is 2003 or 2002, and then should be done on the 2010, but we are delay until 2018. So this we call it this is the process of delimitation of the six. Okay, and the principle of delimitation of constitution. Okay, we must understand that constitution ought to be delimited so that they do not cross state boundary, or regard ought to be hacked to the inconvenience of state constitutions crossing the boundary of the federal constitutions. That means that we must understand one of the characteristics of the constitution for the parliaments is 2 or 3 state constitutions. That means that in each of the federal constitutions, that means that we have 2 or 3 state constitutions. But nowadays, if you look clearly, nowadays one federal constitution consists of 3 state constitutions. That means that one federal constitution is equally to 3 state constitutions. Okay, so you will see that. Okay, if there's Perak, how many federal constitutions? Is it 28 or 20? How about the Kelantan? Kelantan, how many constitutions? How many federal constitutions? 6. Now, how many state constitutions? 6. So from that you will know that. Okay, like Machang. Okay, Machang is the federal constitution 6. So one of the federal constitution of the Machang consists of how many? Pulau Condong, Don Sik, and then one is what? Ulusat and Kemuning. That means that 3 state of constitution, 6. So you must understand that this means that the constitution ought to be limited so that they do not cross state boundary, and regard ought to be hacked to the inconvenience of state constitution crossing the boundaries of the federal constitution 6. That means that the constitution ought to be delimited so that they do not cross state boundaries, and regard ought to be hacked to the inconvenience of state constitutions crossing the boundaries of the federal. That means that the state boundaries for the federal constitutions do not cross, and then the state of the constitution 6 do not cross the federal constitution 6 boundaries. That means that if you see on this one, okay, maksudnya kamu kena faham. Okay, Okay, satu kerusi parlimen mengandungi 2 atau 3 kerusi DUN, dan setiap kerusi garisan sepadan kerusi tidak boleh melebihi sepadan negeri, dan kerusi DUN juga tidak boleh melebihi sepadan kerusi parlimen yang diperuntukkan. Itu maksudnya. That means that the administrative facilities available within the constitution for the establishment of the necessary regulation and polling machine. That means that you must understand that the registrations, first is the regulations, how they register the voters. Okay, now you must understand that the voters above 20 years old can vote, but how about the 18 years old? Not yet. Okay, not yet passed in the parliaments. So that means that all the person who are aged above 20 years old can be registered as the voters. And then you must understand that one of the polling machines. What's the polling machines? Polling machine that the tools that used to be run the elections. So So if you see this one, usually in the school, and then the school teacher will be the staff for the temporary in this elections. Okay. And then one thing you understand that the number of electors within each constitution in the state ought to be exponentially equal. However, regard must also be given to the disadvantage that rural constitutions face, so a measure of advantage of area ought to be given to these rural constitutions. That means we must understand that the person will work there. We call it the numbers of electors. Sometimes the numbers of electors, you must understand the numbers of electors within each constitution in a state ought to be exponentially equal. What it means that the voters and the staff. Okay, I will explain. Okay. The first thing to understand that the voters, because each of the constitution was delimited according to the number of voters, areas, how big the areas, and then you must understand that when the election held, the staff will be run the elections machine. So this must be equal of each. Okay, maksudnya kamu kena faham. Okay, setiap kawasan yang ditentukan sepadan mesti mempunyai pengundi yang setara dengan kawasan lain. Okay, yang pertama. Yang kedua juga kamu kena faham bahawa selain daripada pengundi yang mengundi perlu setara. Contohnya kalau kawasan Macang ada 50,000 pengundi, maka kawasan Kerai pun lebih kurang mesti ada 50 pengundi berdasarkan keluasan kawasan. Yang kedua, kamu kena faham juga apabila berlaku ni pilihan raya, staf yang menjalankan pilihan raya tersebut mestilah setara dengan kawasan-kawasan lain. That means you understand, okay? The person who run the election machine, the process must be equal divide between each of the federal constitution and each of the state constitutions, according to the electors, voters. Okay, the principle of maintenance of local ties. Okay, that means that they must take care. Okay, they must take care the relationship with the locals. So because we want to take care the relation of locals, so always, we must understand that always the person who will run the election is the locals. It's not the outsider. That means that who want to be duty on the day of election in the school always must be teachers or the local government staff. This of course because they want to take care of the relationship. Okay, and then you must understand that, okay, the retro review for the dimension already sent to you, not less than 8 years, because each of the 8 years is they can do the previous review of the delimitations. And then amendments to the law that amended by the federal constitution or state law, whether to decrease the number of constituencies or creation of new territory. Okay, that means that you understand they want to create the seat. Yeah, they want to create the seat. Must have a reason why they want to create. Okay, sometimes we see that. Okay, sometimes we see that in Pahang, like Pahang. Why Pahang state seat and the federal of the state federal constitution seat and state seat was so few compared to the Kuala Lumpur? Why? Because we understand that Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, and Selangor is a very high populations. When the high population, so the seat and the federal constitution seat must be highest. Okay, when we say that we must look on the populations. First, populations. The second is the wide of the areas. Okay, so the population, that means that how many population that we must set for one state seat, for one federal constitution seat. Okay, and then another one, you must understand that the procedure of the delimitation of constitution after the review After the review, after the review, they must propose this draft to the government to gazette. Before they want to gazette, they must publish in the newspaper, the local newspaper. So because they want to publish in the local newspaper, is want the public to know, is it they agree, to get the feedback. Within 1 month from the date of the notice, within the month of the state, within the 1 month from the date of the notice they have published in the newspaper, they get the feedback, and then if there's no objections from the state government or from the peoples or from the local government or from the voters, so this proposal will be gazetted. If there's objections, they must do some revisions. Okay. In the local inquiry, the observation may be made by the objectors as to why the objection is lodged. So the election commissions must treat if they have the objections. The commission may either accept the recommendation made at the inquiries or reject them. So then there's a decision on the election commissions. Sometimes the elections, in the election of the decisions, the election commission have a decisions power. The election commissions have the decision power to accept or to reject the objection from the local government, from the local voters or local people, or from the state governments. Okay. After that, a report will be prepared and given to Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will table to the report to Dewan Rakyat, the House of Representatives, as a draft, and they will be gazette. They will pass in the parliaments. Okay. But if the proposal are rejected at the House of Representatives or Dewan Rakyat, so they must be withdrawn. While withdrawn, the Prime Minister must consult with the Commission to amend the draft and proposal and to bring back to the Dewan Rakyat. Okay, majority have to be vote to agree. Majority have to vote to be agree. That means that you understand that it's not a simple majority; it's a 2/3 majority. So if the government cannot get 2/3 majority to pass this the revisions of the delimitation of seat, okay, maksudnya kamu kata faham? Delimitation of seat adalah pembahagian kerusi mengikut sepadan daerah dan negeri. Okay, so the order will become then into force at the date specific. So cerita ini adalah cerita macam mana mereka membuat satu kerusi, sepadan kerusi Dewan Undangan Negeri ataupun satu kerusi untuk parlimen. So delimitation or delineations maksudnya membuat ataupun membentuk satu kerusi DUN ataupun satu kerusi parlimen. Clear or not? Okay. And now we're going to the future of Malaysian political landscape. Okay. I'm already give you the future of the landscape of political cultures in my FB. So we are going to the first one is the voting behavior. Okay. The first thing to understand that the voting behavior in nowadays, people are aware. They know their rights. They want to vote. But there's also one of the thing that pengundi yang tidak keluar also is very high. Okay. So the awareness of the voting behavior is very high. And then the party, how about the party identifications? So the party identifications, you must understand that, okay, there's the partisanship. Partisanship maksudnya mereka yang terlibat secara langsung atau tidak langsung dalam kerja-kerja parti. Okay. So you must understand that. Okay. The party identification nowadays, okay, is easy. Politik Teknik, Politik Bumiputra, or centrist politik, or we call it the pluralisms. Okay, So party identification maksudnya kamu kena faham identifikasi parti. Identifikasi parti hari ini, adakah dia politik etnik, adakah dia politik bermitra, adakah dia politik pelbagai kaum, ataupun adakah dia politik yang lain daripada yang lain. Okay. So you must understand that. Party administration must understand that. Okay. Yes, UMNO still have the power. UMNO still have the power, and many of the Malays are still loyalty to the UMNOs. Okay, they have not vote the UMNO in the last election because of the Rosmah and Najib. Okay, and then candidate. Okay, you must understand that nowadays people see the candidate. Sometimes they are seeing the candidate. So when they see the candidate, okay, is it that this candidate can be your representative in the state, or can be your representative in the parliaments? The qualities, the traits, okay. And then one thing you understand that the general assessments, okay, general assessment, that means that people also see the manifesto, the performance, the campaign, everything people are seeing. So now why people are involved and assess these things, because the first educations, okay, the education now is very in the Malays, okay, you understand that Malay is very high, because you must compare 1960, 1970 until now. The rise of the person who are getting more and more higher educations in Malays is very high percentage. When the Malays have a high percentage of the educations, more educate, that means that we understand one thing is a middle class, the role of middle class. Okay, the role of middle class came from where? The role of middle class came from the people get more high educations, people get more job, high income, people are aware of the politics, people know everything, what happened in the politics. So this is a general assessments, okay. It's a general assessments, and then sometimes you must understand the issue, local issue, national issue, and certain of the issue is an individual issue, candidate issue. So the issue that say that, okay, the national issue is economic performance, welfare benefit, election manifesto. Local issue like the sampah, rubbish. How about the rubbish? How about the state performance? How about the local government performance? So this is a local issue. And what's the individual issue? Individual issue is that the candidate issue. Certain types of candidate issue that is very sensitive. It must be sometimes highlighted by the political parties. Okay, so Malaysia political culture is not feudal. We are not now in the feudal. Feudal is the attitude of royalty as subconscious compliance to the upper class is said to have been Malaysia political culture since long ago. Just 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980s, yes, feudal. The second one is parochial. Parochial is that the people have no understanding of the national political system, do not possess any tendency to participate in the input process, have no consciousness of the output process. This means that parochial is mean that they have very limited awareness. Very limited awareness in what happened in the politics, because they say that politics is dirty, so they don't want to know about the politics. So sometimes they are not going out to vote. So because they are not going out to vote, so this means that the voters who are vote in the election is very low. When the voters are low in the voting percentage, that means that something happened. It's a parochial. Okay, And then the second is a conservative, tend to preserve traditions or hereditary practice. This one is a person who will say, if I vote pass, maybe I will vote fast for the 20 years or 30 years. They don't want to change. Okay, so they are conservative mind. They don't want to change. There's a conservative. Okay, so another one is a submissive. Okay, submissive means that inclined or ready to submit unnecessarily or humbly obedient to the authority that may exert to the menace of the conscience they design strictly for the gain. That means that what happened? This thing that means they already submissive. They already submit to the party. So they say that they will vote this party from the life and from their day one life until they are dead. Submissive maksudnya mereka yang sudah fanatik dan sudah menyerah diri kepada satu parti sahaja. Mereka tidak melihat parti lain. So mereka ni akan undi satu parti itu saja. So what is the difference from the conservative and the submissive? Okay, conservative are not fanatic. Conservative, they are very conservative. That means that they don't want to bring a change. They are very comfort zone to the party. Mereka sudah ada dalam zon selesa apabila parti itu memerintah. Itu maksudnya konservatif. Submissive lain. Submissive adalah satu perwatakan yang sangat fanatik. Mereka dah telah menyerah diri. Mereka tidak mau mendengar baik atau buruk sesuatu parti. Submissive maksudnya menyerah diri, submit yourself to that party. And then one thing is a passive. Okay, this one is a very passive, is an inactive citizen. They are not involved. So is it a differences with the another one, the parochial? No. Parochial is limited awareness. They know, but they don't want to involve. But passive, that means that they totally reject. That means that passive is tend to political subject. That means that they are totally reject. They don't want to active anymore. They want to know. They don't want to hear anymore. That's a passive. But parochial is a limited awareness. Limited awareness. They know, but they don't want to involve. Maksudnya parochial ni mereka yang tahu tapi mereka tidak mau terlibat. Tapi kalau passive ni, mereka ni telah menolak. Mereka tidak mau tahu apa. Mereka tolak habis politik. So passive ni adalah juga mereka yang langsung tidak mau terlibat. Maksudnya demokrasi itu haram. Itu maksudnya passive. Kalau parochial, mereka tahu tapi mereka tidak mau terlibat. Itu parochial. And then one thing is another thing is undivided royalty. Undivided royalty adalah obedient, indifferent, discourage the Australian, afraid of organism, and just following the wish of community. Okay. Submissive saya dah kata mereka yang menyerah diri, mereka adalah seorang fanatik. Kalau undivided royalty ni adalah mereka yang pengikut setia. Pengikut setia maksudnya mereka ni pengikut setia kepada orang tertentu. Undivided royalty. Undivided maksudnya okey, kalau mereka ni setia pada A, maka mereka akan undi A. Orang lain mereka tak setia. Macam sekarang ni, what happen is there's so many of the leaders have undivided royalty to Tun Dr. Mahathir. Undivided royalty to Tun Dr. Mahathir does not mean that they are submissive to the Tun Dr. Mahathir. Undivided royalty to Tun Dr. Mahathir maksudnya mereka ni pengikut Tun Dr. Mahathir tapi mereka tidak fanatik kepada Mahathir. So because of this Kerajaan Pakatan Harapan runtuh. Okay, so no matter another we going to another one. You must understand that the one is a special provisions of the Federal Constitution of Malaysia. Okay. Special provisions attributes of the Federal Constitution of Malaysia. Why? Because it's regarding the democracy. Okay. So you must understand that is it Malaysia fit to democracy? You must look on the characteristic of democracy. Okay, you must look on the characteristic of democracy. Okay, and then one thing you must understand that okay, democracy in Malaysia are not pure democracy. We are not pure democracy. Okay, and then you must understand that democracy also you must understand what the characteristic, the most important of the characteristic of the democracy is what? Is it have freedoms, freedom of the speech, of the freedom, because that is a democracy. The first thing is their freedom. The second is the participation in politics, the process of the politics. The third one is awareness. This one you must know the characteristic of the democracy. Is it Malaysia fit to democracy? Okay. And then we are going to the certain things. We're going to certain things of in the chapter 5, the issue. Okay. We are going to another is a issue. What the issue? What the issue there? In both in our politics from our independent day until now is the social contract. Okay, social contract. Okay, the issue of social contract is the issue is the main issue in the national issue in each of the elections, each of the general elections. The issue of the social contract is the main issue. Why? Okay, Malay special right. This is the first issue. Malay special right. Is it? This issue is the main issue for each of the general election since our independent day. Yes. This is the most issue. Okay. Why? Because this is the issue that why I say that this issue is being always being highlighted by the non-Malays in each of the elections from the oppositions. Okay, and then the citizenship. Another one is citizenship. Okay, citizenship. So Malay also highlighted Indian and Chinese. Why this country must give the citizenship to the Malay, to the Chinese and Indians. So social contract issue is the main issue. And then we're going to Islam. Okay, Islamism factors. Islamism factors is most also the issue in our countries. Islamism factor. Okay, Islamism factor, that means that Islamic law, and then the freedoms, because the Islam have a certain things that it doesn't allow the freedoms, like the alcohol, like the prostitutions, like the freedom of the genders change. So that is Islamic factors. And then the third issue is the language. The language. People always don't want the Malay language as our national language. They prefer the English or they prefer the Mandarin. Why? Okay, like a vernacular school. Okay, vernacular school. The vernacular school say that Malay is not important. The vernacular school, they say Malay is not important because Malay language doesn't have a characteristic of the economies. So they say that how about the Mandarins? Because Mandarins have an economy weightage. So this is also the issue. And then another one is the equality. Equality, that means that why the government want to give welfare to the certain groups. What about other groups like B40, M40? Okay, now you must understand that the middle class in Malaysia is a very wide. That means that our middle class nowadays is very become biggest and biggest and biggest. Okay, and then poverty become smaller and smaller. Okay, because of the people get more job, people get educated. So when this happens, people also contradict the equation of the distributions. Okay, like the distribution. Okay, distribution. Is it Malaysia government is very fair in distributions to the all the ethnics? So it is an issue. So when you're talking about the political landscape futures, you must understand that what the main issue they are the still hot. Okay, apakah isu-isu yang masih panas yang sejak merdeka sehingga hari ini masih lagi diperkatakan. Okay. Inilah dikatakan Malaysia political landscape cultures in the futures, and I'm already writing up in the FB, so you can see my FB, and the siri gerakan terakhir of the political movement parties. So we have finished the chapter 5. Okay, we have finished the chapter 5. We are going to the chapter 6. Okay, in the chapter 6 is regarding the, I'm already give to you the chapter 6, is it? If I'm not mistaken, I already give to you the chapter 6. So in the chapter 6 is regarding the policy, national policy, and then the national policy, I think you already know that nationals. Okay, I just explained to you what is the nationals policy, like the new economy policy. Okay, new economy policy you already know, you already read. So I hope that you will read. I hope you will read the national and foreign policy, because these are chapters that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, and I hope that every one of you will send your test before 9. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.